You have big plans. You can see the future you want, and you know exactly what you need to do to get there. But instead of taking action, you spend hours stuck on the couch, endlessly scrolling, while your ambitions slowly gather dust. Then, later that same night, the exhaustion finally catches up with you. You get into bed, turn off the lamp, and nothing. You lie wide awake at 2 in the morning, staring at the ceiling, completely wired despite doing zero physical work all day. The guilt starts to creep in. You tell yourself you're lazy. You assume you lack discipline, or maybe you're convinced you've developed clinical insomnia. You promise yourself tomorrow will be different, knowing deep down it probably won't be. Consider that you are operating a 300,000-year-old biological survival machine. Every frustration you feel is the result of that machine working exactly as it was programmed to. Modern society has pathologized our natural human biology. We have taken ancient hardware, placed it into a hyper-fast digital world, and labeled the resulting friction as a failure of character. Decades of cognitive science reveal that chronic procrastination is an emotion regulation problem. We delay action because we are reacting to internal distress rather than failing to organize a calendar. Deep inside your brain is the amygdala, your ancient alarm system. For early humans, its job was to scan the horizon for predators. Today, when you sit down to start a complicated project or write an intimidating email, your amygdala reads that abstract stress as a literal physical threat. It immediately tells your physical body to run. So you retreat. You clean your room, check your phone, or watch a video. This creates an avoidance loop. Escaping the scary task provides a short-term dopamine hit of relief. Your brain learns that avoiding hard work feels safe, and it automates that response for the next time. This explains why perfectionism is so common among chronic procrastinators. Setting an impossibly high, unreachable standard is the ultimate evolutionary defense mechanism. If you never start, you never risk the pain of failure. Ambition itself carries a hidden biological cost. Your mind never truly rests while you dream. It actively works to plan futures, evaluate choices, and predict outcomes. These sustained mental simulations consume massive amounts of cognitive energy, depleting the same neural resources required for physical movement. By the time you need to take action, your brain is already experiencing measurable metabolic fatigue. What looks like shameful laziness is actually a nervous system that has worked a full shift, efficiently conserving what remains of your energy to keep you safe. This biological mismatch continues after the sun goes down. For almost all of human history, the end of the day meant complete, inescapable darkness. You couldn't read, you couldn't work, and moving around meant becoming prey. The mastery of fire changed that equation. A campfire provided a small circle of safety from predators, suddenly extending the waking hours and altering the shape of the human day. In this environment, humans fell into a rhythm of biphasic sleep. They went to bed shortly after sunset, slept for about 4 hours, and then woke up for 1 to 2 hours of quiet wakefulness in the middle of the night, before returning to sleep until dawn. Medical texts, court records, and diaries across centuries explicitly mention this pattern. They referred to it as first sleep and second sleep, treating this interrupted rest as an entirely standard, healthy human behavior. Modern experiments mimicking this total darkness reveal that this middle-of-the-night waking period triggers a unique biochemical state. The brain produces elevated levels of prolactin, inducing a state of meditative, reflective calm. Then, in 1879, Thomas Edison commercialized the electric light bulb. Within a few generations, artificial light flooded our homes. By treating night like day, we started tricking our brains into delaying the release of melatonin, entirely erasing our natural rhythms. That wakefulness you feel at 2 in the morning is your ancient biology attempting to run a millennia-old program. It is a natural human rhythm struggling to survive in a world that refuses to turn off the lights. You cannot rewrite hundreds of thousands of years of evolution, and you cannot rely on fleeting bursts of motivation. If you want to move forward, you have to actively trick your own neural hardware. You start by exploiting a psychological glitch known as the Zeigarnik effect. When you begin a task, even for just a few seconds, your brain registers it as an open loop, which annoys it. It will actually nag you to go back and finish the job. To trigger this without setting off your amygdala's alarm system, shrink your goals. Break the work down into steps so ridiculously small, like opening a blank document or writing a single sentence, that they register as completely safe. Next, you have to design your space for action by removing the friction. Your environment must be set up so that doing the productive work requires significantly less physical effort than reaching for a distraction. That same logic applies to your rest. If your brain cannot tell the difference between the sun and a glowing screen, you have to limit blue light after sunset, creating the friction necessary to let your body naturally transition into sleep. You are not broken. By forgiving your brain's evolutionary misfires and actively redesigning your environment, you can finally close the gap between the things you want to achieve and the actions you take every day.